Now, listen, you guys, Grammy submissions are here, and we're going to be discussing about the submissions of Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, Bongo 2, and No Money. There are a couple of people that people feel like, well, shouldn't have submitted for certain categories. So we're going to be talking about that. Now, we're also going to be discussing about DDG and Joe Budden getting into it. That's certainly a beef that I did not see coming 2024. And Russ has got some couple of words to say about Nicki Minaj. Chris Brown is out there selling out stadiums, and Tocarra and Melyssa Ford are bickering over BBL Drizzy. We're also going to be talking about Nicki Minaj breaking records again, as well as the Transformer sending threats allegedly towards Armon Wiggins. And these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the Tea Blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about these Grammy nominations, you guys. Like, a lot has happened. You guys do know that I have not been around, but I'm back at my natural habitat. So, we have a lot of things to catch up on, okay? So, starting with Beyonce and, of course, his submissions to the Grammys, it is being reported that Cowboy Carter has been submitted for Album of the Year as well as Best Country Album. Now, the sentiments that I've been seeing all over the internet, a little bit mixed with, a lot of people feeling like, well, Best Country Album is certainly a reach and a stretch. That's what people think. And people feel like, well, if the Grammys are to award a Best Country Album and, the actual country awards are not acknowledging it as, that would mean that the Grammys are beginning to turn themselves in a joke. And it seems like she also submitted for Album of the Year. Now, I don't know, you guys. I feel like Cowboy Carter is a cool album, but I don't think that it is that album, okay? Like, compared to all the other albums that she has done, I do understand that, well, she did stretch out her creativity, her versatility, but in as far as it being the best of the best, I don't know, you guys. I mean, if all her other iconic albums could not get Album of the Year, I don't know if Cowboy Carter is going to be able to get her Album of the Year. Texas Hold'em, it has been submitted for Record of the Year, for Song of the Year, and Best Country Album. I will not lie, Texas Hold'em really had people on chokehold for a couple of months, so I could see the logic behind them submitting for Record of the Year as well as Song of the Year. Now, as for the country category, you guys, I'm still gonna, 16 carriages, Best Country Solo Performances, that performance, I feel like 16 carriages. That was a cool one. Yeah, so that's basically it. She did submit a couple of more other songs, but for me, those three, submissions are the ones that stood out for me. Now, the next one that we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj and the Grammys. Now, listen, I do acknowledge that obviously it is the record label that does the submissions for the artist and things like that. But Republic is beginning to annoy me at this point, because why do you keep submitting this woman's music when you know that the Grammys are nothing but just a political board that does things based on who likes who is, it's not about talent. And you very well know that those people don't like her. So why do you keep on submitting this woman's work? Okay, but anyway, Pink Friday 2 was submitted for Album of the Year, and it was also submitted for Best Rap Album, Best Engineered album, and it seems like if the Club Up was submitted for Record of the Year, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song. Everybody Song of the Year, Best Pop Duo or Group Performance, and R&B Best Melodic Rap Performance. Now, I don't even know if I should comment much on this, because honestly, the Grammys and Nicki Minaj in one sentence, that just annoys me, okay? I was about to yeah, that just annoys me, okay? That entire, the Grammys and Nicki Minaj in one sentence, is not something that I live for. And so I just wish they hadn't submitted, in my own opinion, because, yeah, you know how they always play her. Now, an interesting submission, you guys, was obviously Bongo 2's submission. They submitted her album, Megan, for Album of the Year and Best Rap Album. Now, I don't know which one is more hilarious, the Album of the Year or the Best Rap Album. Like, if they give her a nomination for this, honestly, I don't want to hear anybody talking about the scammers as anything that should be taken seriously. If they give her a nomination for this, I'm just gonna laugh so hard. Mamushi was submitted for a record of the year, song of the year, best rap song, performance, best rap song, best music video. I'm just looking at this guy and I'm like, are you serious right now? He was submitted for best rap performance, best rap song, and then Cobra, best rock performance. Like, this is a joke. I'm not even gonna finish reading all these submissions because this is absolutely hilarious. Okay, now people are laughing at Normani. People feel like, well, Normani is stretching it for her Grammy submissions for her album. It seems like she has submitted Dopamine for album of the year and best R&B album, and Candy Paint as record of the year, song of the year. Like, at this point, I don't even know if I should take these submissions seriously. Now I can't wait to see how hilarious the nominations are going to be, because if they do nominate some of these songs, I'm gonna laugh out. I'm gonna laugh really hard. Matt Lamini also submitted Scarlet to Claude as album of the year, best rap album. Yeah, at this point it does feel like it's a bit of gambling that is going on, because what are you talking about? Okay, Agora Hills record of the year, song of the year. But nah, this is a joke. Okay, Demons best rap performance, best rap song. I'm done with this. Okay, let's move on to other things that are not the Grammys, because as expected, it's clown stuff. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to talk about, DDG and Joe Budden. Now you guys do know that recently DDG did announce that him and Halle had decided to part ways and things like that, and people have been commenting on it, with some people expressing sentiments on how they did not know DDG before Halle Bailey. And I'll say that I'm one of those people. I wouldn't say no outright, but I knew that he existed. But did I care about him? Did I care to see him? Like, would I stop to read any article that has his name on it? I wouldn't. I wasn't doing that. So I guess that was not sitting well with DDG, and Joe Budden went in on that and was basically expressing the same sentiments, to say that, well, he's not famous enough for him to actually want to know what he's up to see him in the blogs and things like that. And I guess that did not sit well with DDG, because he decided to go on an entire rant lashing at Joe, mocking him and things like that. So this is what he said. He said, "Pump It Up went gold after 20 years, you old B. At Joe Budden, I'm on you." And then he also said, "Ninja got 30 years marks of life left." And speaking on a relationship of the same people, of the same age as your son, "I hope you forget to take your magnesium pills today, you old B." At Joe Budden. And then he also said, "I don't be tripping about the girls saying ish, because I'm used to it. It's all love. But you ninjas with platforms gonna get a response for sure." And then he has been doing a lot of talking about the situation. Meanwhile, Halle is out there minding her own business, and so I'm just like, what? And then he also posted another Instagram story with Joe Budden's song "Pump It Up" and said, "Not gonna lie, this is trash." Okay, and when this was posted on the Neighborhood Talk, Joe Budden just laughed it off and said, "Not yaks." And he kind of didn't say much, but knowing Joe, he might actually read DDG in his next episode of his podcast. And I'm just like, DDG, if Joey decides to read you, it's going to be an ugly side. Okay, because one thing about Joe is he will read you like his Gossip Girl, I'm telling you, and you will not like it. So I hope he continues. I hope he tries to actually keep it cute. Meanwhile, Halle is actually being spotted out there minding her own business. She just quietly removed DDG's pictures and is going about her business. And so at this point, I'm just like, he's looking more and more like a clown. The next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. Now, I don't know how I didn't talk about this, but this happened a couple of days ago. You guys do know that Nicki Minaj and Bia are on tour together, obviously. And Bia decided to bring out Russ to perform their song together. And Russ seemingly had a little chat with Nicki Minaj. And he decided to share a couple of words about, him meeting Nicki Minaj and how much of an influential icon Nicki Minaj is. Now, this is what he had to say. He said, what a legendary night. I met Nicki Minaj, performed a smash with Bia, and watched Nicki's show for the first time. Bia, you are one of the most talented artists out there, and you got such a pure soul. I love watching you win. Nicki, seeing your fan base and show up close was so inspiring. I gotta go harder. For all the artists out there, if you want longevity and are trying to build a fan base and you don't have Nicki on your vision board, you are bugging. And obviously, this could not be more true, because listen, you can say all you want to say about Nicki Minaj, but when it comes to longevity and actually having a solid fan base, trust me, she has mastered that game, and I will always applaud her for that, okay? And she has people, imagine she got people trying to say that the only people who care about Nicki's music are the Barbz. For the first time, I've heard people making it seem like it's a bad thing for fans, for a fan base to love their favorite artist's music. Like, I'm just like, of course, that's what the Barbz do. She makes music for the Barbz. Who else did you want her to make music for? Like, the only time that I will get worried if you guys start saying, well, even her Barbz are not going to stream that, or like the Barbz don't like her music, that's when I'll get worried, okay? You can't be thinking that you're saying that it's only the Barbz that likes the music. You can't possibly think that, well, that's a drag, because that's exactly what she's trying to do. Anyway, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Chris Brown. Now, it seems like Chris Brown is doing the most as far as his shows are concerned in Africa. Now, this man is out there selling out 90,000, capacity stadiums within less than an hour. Oh my God. It is actually being reported that an hour into, the availability of his tickets, he managed to sell out a 90,000 capacity stadium. And congratulations to Chris Brown for being able to do that. I mean, the man is actually a very great performer, so I'm not surprised that people would want to pay their money to go and, of course, watch him perform. He really does give you value for your money. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. Now, it is actually being reported that this September, Nicki Minaj is the most streamed female rapper on Spotify. So, yeah, congratulations to Nicki Minaj for being the most streamed female rapper, even though she released the album last year. So, yeah, I cannot wait to see what the next album holds for Nicki Minaj. And the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we are going to talk about Tokara and Melyssa Ford. Now, you guys, it seems like Tokara and Melyssa Ford are kind of getting hostile with each other over the timelines and of dating BBL Drizzy, over the timelines, as well as how everything happened. Now, for those of you who do not know, Melyssa Ford was dealing with Drake back in the day, and at the same time, Tocarra was also dealing with Drake at the same time. And it seems like back in the day, the two of them were actually cool. And so Melyssa went on her podcast and she started talking about, oh my God, this is how everything transpired. I was dating, Judas Degrassi, and this is what happened. He was dating a friend of mine as well. And she basically said her own side of the story. However, when Tokara decided to go on Carlos King's podcast, and she was actually asked about that same situation, she decided to give her own side of how things transpired. And for some reason, Melyssa Ford feels like, well, she is the one who's entitled to say her truth or to tell a story, but Tokara is not allowed to tell her own story, because let me tell you that when Melyssa then went on Carlos' podcast, well, she started saying, oh my God, I already addressed the situation on my own podcast. I don't know why it is still being talked about. And I'm like, your podcast, your version of the story. So why can't Tokara say her own side of the story? And when I tell you, like, how she was coming off Melyssa, it was, coming off as I'm better than you. Oh my God. She was like screaming, I am Melyssa Ford. I am Melyssa Ford. I'm that girl. And I'm like, okay, you're pretty. We get it. But Tokara was also that girl. Still is that girl, actually. That was an actual model. So I'm just like, I don't like the undertone of, the way Melyssa was addressing this situation situation, it was pretty much giving better than you energy. So I'm going to insert what Melyssa had to say addressing this entire Tokara situation, and then I will catch you after that. But before I insert that, I wanted to say that Fashion Ever is also playing with with Judas Degrassi. Tell me why they've got a BBL Drizzy accessory and they've got like this model wearing the clips, just the hair clips, just the same way that BBL Drizzy does his own hair. I was just like, this is so messy. But anyway, let me insert Melyssa Ford addressing this situation, and let me know, you guys, what vibe are you getting from Melyssa from this?
Our mutual friend Tocarra was on my podcast.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Were you mad?
Yeah.
At me or her, or both?
Well, I mean, I don't really know why the conversation came up. I don't really get that because, I mean, it was addressed on my podcast.
Yeah.
But then
I was doing my research.
Got it. But then the revisionist history was a little wild to me.
Does it match your history?
No, it doesn't. And that was news to me.
Okay. So
Not even a little bit.
I want to give you the opportunity to address it.
I'll sum it up for you. You don't even have to ask me shit.
This is what happens when you interview a podcast host, okay?
You don't have to ask me nothing.
Go ahead, sis.
I went to my girlfriend's house because I was excited about something, about somebody that I was dating. And I hadn't told a lot of my girlfriends. I hadn't told a lot of anybody. And I just was giddy and wanted to share with my girlfriend. I had no idea that...
So, our mutual friend Tocarra was...
She had a date planned with him. This was literally the biggest coincidence in the world. That's it. I had no clue, but I was already dating him. Be clear who I was in 2009. I'm Melyssa Ford. I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm not. I'm still not. Did Carlos get back up here?
I'm sorry.
Listen, if there's something that I have learned at this point in my life, it's just I accept who I am, and I accept my, I don't want to use the word power, but I accept who I am. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm an accomplished woman. She had a date planned with him. I am a gainfully employed. I have a lot going for me. A lot. I'm not going to dim my shine for anybody at all. So when I reference myself, when I talk about myself, I'm going to speak about myself in the most truthful manner. And it took me a long time to get here, to be able to speak this way about myself and to like myself the way that I like myself and love myself the way that I love myself and accept that I have things about myself that might intimidate other people. It took me a long time to get here. And I'm not assigning, intimidation to anybody. I'm not. But, if it don't apply, let it fly. I am a gainful...
Drake sought you out. And...
But you've never seen us together.
I don't have to. I know you personally.
No one ever seen us together. No one would have actually known that we dated if someone else would have brought it out in an interview.
Melyssa Ford. I know. Our good friend.
I love you too, Melyssa.
So you weren't surprised when Melyssa Ford revealed that y'all were dating him at the same time?
No, I wasn't surprised. But that was a whole situation. I had to come and let her know because you know the story.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll tell you another time.
No, I mean, we want. So what? How did that come? Like, did you guys was the math thing like?
No, she had came over to my house one night and she was talking about her new relationship or this relationship. She was talking about
Drake sought you out.
Did she actually say? Oh, yeah, she actually did tell me. And I was actually getting ready to go on a date with him. So she's in my room. I'm getting dressed. And I'm about to go meet him. And it was always a little weird to me. Like she came over. I mean, not weird, but it was a little. It was just, I don't know, coincidence. I don't know. weird. Let's say weird for lack of a better word. But she was just telling me about her situation with the guy that she was dating, and she went on to tell me it was Drake. And instead of me telling her like right then and there, I wanted to go and talk to him first, because this wasn't the first time that me and Melyssa had was seen or talking to the same guy. And the first time we handled it, because it's always girls, you know, some girl code. It's always girl code. I'm a girl's girl. And I just decided to handle it a little different. Did she actually say this time when she told me about Drake? So when she told me what was going on, I finished getting dressed. I went on my date with him, and I told him what she had just told me. And then when I left from him, I drove over to her house, knocked on her door, and sat down and told her.
And how did she take the news?
Pretty calm. She was pretty calm. We just kind of looked at each other. We just, you know, took some deep breaths, and it wasn't, you know, it was a very calm, you know, maybe shock, you know, it was civil. Nobody got mad, nobody screamed, nobody cried, nobody. It was just a girl conversation, you know. We just kind of compared notes, you know, and just put.
Well, there you heard what Melyssa had to say. Personally, I didn't see anything wrong with what Tocarra said. She was not even being shady to Melyssa. She was being, in my own opinion, she was just telling a story, her own side. But somehow this woman decided to come on here being, oh, I'm better than you. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about this whole entire threatening each other situation between the Transformer and Armon Wiggins. Now, those two, oh my goodness, they are a match made in heaven, because the drama, they both love drama. They both love to be victims. They both love the same thing. So I feel like they should be friends. Why aren't they friends anymore? Because they should be friends, you guys. But anyway, it seems like Armon was insinuating that there was a lot of threatening that happened between him and the Transformer, or him and the Transformer's husband, because he went on his platform saying that, oh my God, if you don't want us to talk about it, why are you putting it on there? Why am I receiving phone calls? Blah, blah, blah. And the Transformer also went out saying that it's not a PR stand. Why do you think we would use our situation as a PR stand, and things like that? And at this point, I'm honestly just tired of hearing about this woman, because if this is the rollout, it's not giving whatever it is supposed to be giving, because at this point we can't figure out, is you a victim in this entire situation? Is you a villain? What is this? Okay, what exactly is this? Because it's not giving anything. But anyway, for those of you who still care to hear this woman speak, I will insert this at the end of, I will insert what she had to say at the end of the video. And for the rest of you who don't want to hear what the Transformer had to say about the PR stands and everything, this is goodbye for me. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. I post each and every single day, and I keep you updated on what is happening in the celebrity world on Instagram, on Twitter, and about all things trending. And for those of you also who have not subscribed to Instant Brew, please do go ahead and do the needful. Go and subscribe on that channel as well. It's going to be the first pinned comment in the comment section. And until my next one, you guys, see you.
Being in that studio, recording an album to release. If you guys don't want people talking bad about you, if you guys don't want to get upset, if you guys don't like the negative press, stop exploiting the negative aspects in your relationship to the press. And listen, don't get mad at me. You guys can keep your threats. I don't want no DM threats. I don't want no phone calls. Keep your threats. You know, they get mad, then they want to send you threats in the DM, shit like that. Keep your threats, please. I'm just saying. If everything was that bad, I probably wouldn't be in the DMs of bloggers threatening them just 4 days prior. So let's be very clear.
I want to make this very clear, right? I want to make this very clear because of the publicity shit that I say. One thing about it, all right, let's say if I be like, hey, I'm going to use my relationship as a publicity stunt. Do you really think that my baby dad is gonna be like, yeah, do that. I'm gonna sacrifice my career that I worked for so hard for your. Oh, by the way, and you know what? You wanna know what's so crazy? Why is it when I separate my face of myself and my baby father is a publicity stunt, but every single time that him and y'all wanted to throw it in my face, it wasn't a publicity stunt. Every single time that a new come around or a new rumor will come around, y'all be the first one kikiing and laughing and gagging and ha ha ha. That wasn't a publicity stunt. But when I leave, it's a publicity stunt. When you could throw that in my face anymore, it's not a publicity stunt, right? Y'all